was captivated by 7-year-old Jack Hoffman's 69-yard TD run during Nebraska's red-white spring football game. Just 2 weeks after going through yet another round of chemotherapy in his battle against pediatric brain cancer, Jack took the field at Memorial Stadium and took it to the house. As Chris Connolly tells us, his play and his story has touched the collective heart of both the state of Nebraska and the nation.
A 7-year-old cancer patient running for daylight, making so many spirits soar along with his own, across the nation and in this stadium.
Just like that, it turned into one of the coolest things any Nebraska fan has ever seen.
Long before taking the field in Lincoln, Jack Hoffman of Atkinson, Nebraska, was destined to be a Cornhusker fan.
When you're a little boy and you grow up in Nebraska, you really don't have a choice. I think you might have even come home from the hospital, with a Nebraska outfit on.
But on the morning of April 22nd, 2011, that lively child seemed to vanish.
I said, Jack, what do you want for breakfast? And he wouldn't answer me.
I remember just getting real close to his face and just clapping my hands right in front of his nose, just as loud as I could. Jack, Jack, and I just was, yelling his name, and probably did it 3 or 4 times, and to the point where I was almost screaming, loud, and it wasn't registering.
Jack was rushed to a local hospital. Moments later, he had a 30-minute grand mal seizure. Its after effects were catastrophic. Jack's nearly lifeless body was unable to breathe on its own. Andy could only pray.
I mean, just to be honest, I didn't know if he was dead or alive. It was horrifying. It was horrifying. It's one of those days that you'll never forget, And I just was whispering in his ear, Jesus loves you. At that point, I was fairly confident that that might be the last thing I would ever say to him.
But the moment that he actually woke up and said, "Hi, Mom," was such a relief.
So began a medical nightmare for Jack and his family, some 2 years in duration, spurred by the doctor's chilling diagnosis, a brain tumor.
What goes through your heart when they tell you that?
Complete and total devastation. That was our reality, is that we might have a son that, just might not ever be able to walk again, and we just wanted to be able to tell him we loved him and that he could tell us that he loved us.
He's already endured 2 surgeries. Now, to combat the tumor, Jack is on a 60-week regimen of chemotherapy.
What's the toughest thing about being sick?
The stupid puking. So I always puked in the morning after chemo like 50 times.
Medication now controls Jack's nausea. He can throw, catch, and run, just like any other 7-year-old. But the uncertainties of his future remain.
Jack asked me the other day, he said, "Mom, what's cancer-free mean?" And I said, "Oh, it means that you don't have any cancer anymore." And then he said, "Will I ever be cancer-free?" And with a brain tumor that they can't get out, the answer is no.
In the fall of 2011, the Hoffmans asked Nebraska if Jack could meet his favorite Cornhusker, running back Rex Burkhead. What was supposed to be a meet and greet became a life-transforming relationship.
He's been a big part of my life. I feel like he's the younger brother I never had.
He was my best friend.
Last fall, thanks to Rex, Jack helped lead the Huskers in the tunnel walk.
Just seeing my kid go through the tunnel with all the Huskers, it's just awesome.
The part I liked the most was hitting the horseshoe.
He was making sure he gave every single person a high five, so it was a very special moment, emotional one, and something we'll never forget.
For their annual red-white game on April 6th, the Cornhuskers had something even more special in store for Jack. Late in the second half, 69 yards out, Jack joined Taylor Martinez and the rest of the offense.
I just grabbed Taylor, just for a brief moment, and I said, be prepared for him to go the wrong way.
The last 2 years had been filled with heartbreak and anguish. Now Andy Hoffman was just a father, watching his son play for the Cornhuskers.
When he went out on the field, I finally for about the first time, kind of let myself enjoy it. And I just thought, you know, this is really special.
Right when I handed him off the ball in the game, he ran to the left. I was like, no.
It was pretty funny. He hit the cut left and made the Barry Sanders reverse field to the right.
And he crosses midfield. He's crossed the 40, and the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. Hoffman across the 5. Hoffman scoring for the red team.
I scored a touchdown.
And what did that feel like?
Felt like being a real Husker. Super duper awesome.
All through his battle with cancer, being a fan of the Huskers has sustained him. Now, in this moment, 7-year-old Jack Hoffman is raised high in the end zone, and his heroes are looking up at him.